And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace. It is Friday. You going to do a little Friday dance for us?
Yeah, sure. No, I'm glad it's Friday for sure.
Yeah, I can't
It's
dance.
been the longest week for me. I don't know why. It
Drug
just
out?
feels like it is drug on and on and on.
Any major things that may have slowed it down for you?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's anything major, but it just has seemed long to me. It just seems like it should have been Friday 2 or 3 days ago.
I know what you mean. And
But I'm glad it's finally Friday. So
little George Jones to get us going there. And it will be a long day and a long night
yes,
as we prepare for weather. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment. I guess you saw where we had the building fall in downtown Meridian last night.
I did see that, and that is scary because
Yeah.
I mean it just fell right into the street.
What if
right
somebody
onto
had
the
been
sidewalk.
walking?
Right, I know. What if it had happened during the day? Yeah, and somebody had been walking. That's scary. Or cars coming by even. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think it did spill on into the,
It
the road,
did.
You know, so.
Several streets blocked now for until further notice from the city of Meridian, and just be careful when you're down there.
Well, I wonder if it had been a building that was abandoned.
Well, it's the old Sam's clothing store.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
It was the
right.
backside of that wasn't being used. So I don't know when the last time a person actually used that building, but
They probably need to inspect all of them
oh yeah,
now because that's scary. I mean, you know.
fall in a minute.
Right.
So we watched that. I had a note earlier that I missed that someone posted when I done the weather early this morning. We want to send out condolences. I don't know the case here or what happened, but in the Noxapater community, to the Yates family, someone posted that they lost a 14-year-old child, and the funeral was today.
Goodness.
So our heartfelt prayers go out to the Yates family. And again, I don't know the situation, what happened. I'm just not aware of it, but still the same. A sad, sad day for that family.
Yes.
And our prayers go to them.
Yes.
And I don't know if I could deal with that.
The loss of a child.
Oh, yeah.
I think at any age, but the loss, you know, of a child would be very, very hard.
It would be.
I pray for anybody that has to go through that.
So y'all keep them in your prayers there in the Noxapater community. Good morning to Galen Bradshaw. Also, Joyce Stamper up stirring in the big city of Marion today.
Good morning to April Matthews, and good morning to Sandy Kaz.
She's stirring too. Let's see. Lillian Glenn is up. Good morning. Scotty Ray and Candace.
Good morning, Lillian.
Dorothea Harrison is watching also.
Let's see. Donna Hawkins is watching, and let's see. What is that?
That just says that we've gotten 100 messages sent to us in here in the last little bit.
That's good.
Joyce Godwin is watching. Also,
Yeah.
Jeremy Barnacastle. How are you today?
Yes. Kathy Bounds, she says thanks for updating us. Yeah, just keep in mind that he'll be here, I'm sure, all day. With
Yeah,
the,
and
you
you're
know,
more than welcome to
break-ins.
stay. You like if you're bored.
Well, I might have to, you know, take you up on that a little later. If I didn't have somebody coming to pick something up at the shop, I'd stay.
And you might want to get your mama to get her batteries ready for her.
That's right. Yeah, batteries, because I think the wind is really, really going to be bad in this.
It is.
I mean,
over.
like high winds.
And I've said this a couple times. If you've got a very nice vehicle that you're making those $500 to $800 payments on, you might want to put it somewhere where it can't be beat to death with hail, because over and over we're being pushed by the National Weather Service and different agencies of the possibility of huge hail with this.
Yes.
So, hello.
I might need to do that. Yes.
Thought you might want to know. Kathy Bounds is watching this morning. Also, Ray Gafford. Good morning, Barbara Vick. How are you doing there?
Let's see. Miss Linda Culpepper says good morning, and she's praying that everyone stays safe from this weather, and we are too.
Fingers crossed there.
Yes.
Barbara Vick, good morning to you. Randy Chu is up. Elmer Talbert is watching. Miss Linda Culpepper also. She passes on condolences to the family.
Hilton and Denise Davis, they're watching from Carmichael.
Yeah, down in Clark County there.
Miss Lita Jo Horn's watching. How are you this morning, Miss Lita Jo?
Hope she's doing good. I
Yes.
like that name, Lita Joe. It just goes together, doesn't
I
it?
know, it does.
Bridget Harwell watching today also. Good morning to Rick Joyner. And Linda Jane is already probably putting new blankets in her storm shelter. She's all on this storm shelter thing.
I'm ready to get me one. I really am.
And we have to say good morning to Cornbread. Hey, Cornbread. Cornbread is somewhere on the road working, Nick Dow. I hope he's doing well. Good morning, my friend there.
To Jetta T says good morning.
And that's the good mornings we got. Now, always, if you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. It's always good to know that so we can pass along. All right, I want to start out with this as we look at this severe weather because we got an update just a moment ago, and they've extended this a little further east now. Earlier in the morning, the line was right down the central portion of Lauderdale County. It was not taken in Wyandotte. Now they've moved it into Alabama. And let's pull this up and take a look here. Here we go. This is the new line, and let me back out here where you can see this. Let me get this whole thing out. This is the storm that is coming tonight. As we look at this, Nashville is a 1 area, Oklahoma City is a 1, Dallas bumps up to a 2. As you get closer, Fort Smith, Arkansas is a 3. Through here, Shreveport is a 3. Now, this red area is where the worst of the worst could be tonight. This starts at Texarkana and moves southeast here across Arkansas. And as we look at this, this will take in El Dorado, Ruston, Louisiana, Monroe, and follows I-20 through Vicksburg, through Jackson, goes as far north, just shy. And let's turn on this so we can see where this ends in Noxubee County here. Right about where the Kentucky Fried Chicken is where the line is going to be. All of Winston County, except that extreme northeastern corner there. As we come down, and now we've gotten Geiger, Alabama in this, almost all the way to Gainesville. If you were to take, I forget the number of this road that runs from Kim Waste toward Gainesville. Most people know that I'm talking about. So be careful through there. This is going to come down and take in all of Livingston, due south. York, y'all are involved in this, down to almost Pennington. Lisbon, Alabama, you're involved in it. Butler, also Gilberttown. As we look here at also at Toxie, Alabama. And then this is going to start cutting back into Mississippi again, Chatham, Alabama, and to Leakesville down in here. So we've got a weather event coming. And let me re-stress what's going to be going on with this. We're going to have around, say, 8:30 tonight, somewhere like 7. It'll begin 6:30 to 7 and last until about 9 o'clock, around the showers. That's just going to be thunderstorms. The bad stuff comes in after midnight, pointing toward 2:30, 3 a.m. area, but anytime after midnight, be ready for this.
Yes.
So have your house slippers on. Might not hurt to have a few socks on.
Yeah.
Now, as I've mentioned before, hard sole shoes in cases of tornadic activity, in case your home was to be damaged to where you wouldn't step on nails. Had somebody mention this morning, I hadn't even thought about this. If you wear glasses of any sort, especially if you have them to read and you're trying to figure out things, stick them somewhere on you or in a case to where you got them in your safe place.
Yes. And have candles and batteries and flashlights, all that kind of stuff.
Charge your
handy.
phone.
Yeah, charge your phone. That's the main things because you can't keep up with weather alerts if you don't.
No.
Phone dies. So anyway.
So and if you have the pull rope generators, make sure they're running. Have a little extra gas for that in case you want electricity before the power comes back on. Because this is most likely we're going to lose power. There's too much wind being mentioned with this, and we've already got saturated ground, and we're expecting anywhere from 2 to 5 inches. A lot of rain.
So when is the rain going to begin today? Do you know?
Late this afternoon as we pull up.
It looks rainy now, really.
Yeah.
Looks cloudy and
after 3 o'clock is what we're looking for the rain. And then the later you get, the worst of that will hit after 1 a.m. So, and then it continues tomorrow morning until about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So if you were going to have a yard sale tomorrow, with this being at the beginning of the month, I don't suggest it.
Yeah, we were supposed to go to a birthday party tomorrow, and still planning to go. I just don't know. It's supposed to be outside, so I don't know how well that's going.
That's probably going to have to be changed.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that. So we've got several weather events going on with this. Now, I will be here. If you don't mind, share this page. There's a thing to where you can click and invite your friends to see it as well, and follow. If you don't follow, you don't get the alerts when I go live and tells what it is and all of that. And you wouldn't get to see Candace every day. Yeah. We wouldn't want that to happen, would we?
That's right.
See?
But look, if you have a storm shelter, don't leave your phone in the house like my mother did. So we thought the phones didn't work down in there because they didn't years ago when we had to get down in there, but they do. So, ours did at least, and so take it anyway because we could keep up with all the weather updates and everything down there, so it was good.
So, and if you don't have a storm shelter, talk to the precast group here in Meridian. They build them, can get, because it is a worrisome thing. Starting at around $4,600, talk to them. They can get one specially designed for your home. Get it out there. The precast group, that's out on Highway 145 South, right outside of the skirts of Meridian, and they can come out and fix you up.
Yeah, for those of you who are getting tax money back,
Oh, yeah.
that would be a good investment right there.
Stimulus.
That's right, stimulus money, any kind of tax, refund. So put it towards something that is going to pay off.
Yeah, keeps
in the
giving.
future. Right, the gift that keeps on.
It is. Back in the old days before any of this was built, and there was a lot of accidents, like Clark County has a bunch of red clay hills. People used to dig into those and build those, and of course they could collapse and you could get hurt.
Right. Or, look, God forbid I get down in one that have a snake in it or something.
Hello.
Like years ago, I hear people telling me about, like, when I was a little girl, we used to have to get down in a storm shelter and there'd be snakes and everything else.
I have heard that so many
cellars,
times.
storm cellars, That just sounds creepy to me, but I'm glad we have,
Progressed.
evolved or whatever. Yeah, we've got better ones now. So
I was a few years ago. I was helping someone run a water line from a refrigerator. You have to, in a house that has a wood floor. You drill a hole and then you run it from the sink over to where the refrigerator is and up where you can tie into the water line so it doesn't run across the floor. And I had about yay much room underneath that house. I was crawling on my belly.
Right.
And I had that drill going up there, and I had a flashlight, and it fell. And I looked to the side of me, and there was a big old snake skin about that big around.
Oh, my gosh.
And you want to talk about a white boy crawling out of something quick?
Yeah.
I left. I left my flashlight and never went back and got it.
But look, if you have storm shelters, it's a good thing too to keep them maintained.
Yes.
Because you don't want to go out there. Years ago, I remember, I don't know if it was like a hurricane had come through. It was something major though. Might have been like major tornadoes going around. But there was a bunch of people got down in a storm shelter, and there was an ant bed, a massive ant bed that fell in on them or something, or somehow or another it fell in and fell all over some lady. So just kind of keep them maintained. Make sure you don't have ant beds growing all around it and all that kind of stuff, because I'm sure those could probably get down in there.
In the deep south, if you're driving down the road and you see somebody run across the yard chunking their clothes off, they most likely got ants on them. And y'all can't sit there and deny that you ain't seen that happen.
Stomping around on the ground,
Make you do the jig, that's for sure.
That's the worst thing, is to stand in an ant bed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they just cover your feet. We've done that, and I used to. They eat me up. Like, I'm highly allergic to them.
Then it takes 2 or 3 days and all that stuff swells up on you. Woo,
oh yeah.
Pain. Nick Cornbread told me he's back in Meridian. Wanda Thames is watching from Demopolis, Alabama. Glad to have Alabama with us this morning. Miss Gail Gafford is joining us. Miss Cheryl Rainey, how are you doing? Hope y'all, and speaking of Cheryl and Ken and all the folks who helped put on the show last night at the Temple Theater, a great turnout for Todd Tilghman.
That is so good.
Proud of Meridian. It looked good.
That's good, yes. Pat Harris is watching at Lauderdale.
Yay.
Miss Charlene Gaddy says good morning. And Ruth Key says it's very foggy in Bloomfield.
Now,
and it was kind of foggy this morning a little bit.
Yeah, it was here. I couldn't see my shed out where the chickens are this morning.
Yeah.
That may have been a good thing. But areas of Meridian all the way in earlier today had that, and it's starting to burn off now, which is great news. Let me see here. I had some notes I was going to bring up. Oh, y'all remember Carl Perkins? Step on my blue suede shoes. This was his birthday today. Born in 1952, he passed away in 98.
Okay.
Doesn't seem that long ago. You do remember Carl Perkins, right?
I remember the song. The blue suede shoes.
Lord have mercy.
I've heard the name, but it's not somebody I'd pull up and listen to, I don't think, all the time.
But he was big in the 50s, part of the rockabilly movement with Elvis and all the gang there. Also, Hal Ketchum. You remember Small Town Saturday Night?
I do remember
Hal's birthday was today. He passed away last year during the pandemic. So condolences to his family.
Now, didn't he not have
a dementia or
something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, he went downhill. I met him several times. What a good guy he was. But he did pass away last year. You know this name, I know, because if you live in America, there's no way you don't know this guy. Hugh Hefner had a birthday on this day.
I'm just picking.
Okay, you got me on that one. You got me on that one. I believed you.
Yeah.
But he died in 2017.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Also on this date, General Robert E. Lee surrendered, formally ending the Civil War. Appomattox Courthouse is where that happened. And also a name, you know the song Jailhouse Rock?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got any idea who wrote that?
No, I don't.
All right, you ever heard of Hoyt Axton? His mama, Mae Braxton, who she died at 82 on this date. She was credited, for, I think, for like 200 plus songs. And of course, the big one, she wrote several for Elvis and Heartbreak Hotel. And she had a heart attack while she was taking a bath and drowned.
Oh my gosh.
Sad
awful.
news on that.
Yeah.
But I thought that might be of interest.
Yeah.
I don't know of anybody else famous that had anything today. I made a note so I wouldn't forget that.
That's good though.
All over that.
I learned all kind of stuff on the show that I didn't know.
Lord have mercy. Good morning to everyone. I hope your day is starting out well and you've got a smile and can face all of this. I do hope it's a good one there for you. I do want to bring up my friend out at the Red Barn Plant and Produce out in the southeast area. If you haven't been out that way lately, let me introduce you to Charlie. They have produce and all kinds of great things there. And of course, today is delivery day. They'll be getting more plants in today. If you're looking for something like that to spruce up the yard, you can get it. That's what Charlie's got.
I need some more plants.
What color do you call that right there?
Red.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have like a fancy name that I don't know about?
No, I would just say it's red. That's Gerber daisies.
Oh, I've heard that all
I
my
cannot
life.
keep them alive. I've bought those several times. I just can't keep them. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
You ain't got a green thumb. That's what's
Well,
wrong.
no, I can keep everything else alive as long as I water it, but I just
Gerber
couldn't ever-
daisies.
I couldn't, but they're pretty.
Azaleas. They just about can take anything that you dish at an azalea and they'll make it.
Yeah, and they bloom. A lot of times they'll bloom like numerous times during
Right.
the year, so they're really pretty.
Again, you can find this and so much more roses out at the Red Barn Plant Produce. It's on the right-hand side of the road on Highway 19. Charlie, I went to high school with him, a good friend of mine, and he stands behind what he's got. He only has quality stuff there. That's what they take care of. And this is some of the hang-in plants that you can get. See Charlie, and again, we'll have produce arriving very shortly from now as things warm up more and more, where you don't have to get out and do your garden stuff. He'll have it for you.
Yes.
The Red Barn Plant and Produce, again, Highway 19 South, 938-6439. If you've got something in mind that you're looking for, you can call him, and he'll tell you all about that. Let's see, other things that are going on across America today. This was the breaking news at daylight this morning, was Prince Philip has died at 99.
99 years old.
That,
Now, that is from what I understand, he lived a full life too. That he had a lot of appearances, different.
He did. I want to
social
say he'd
events
done
and stuff.
something last week.
It just seems like he's always been kind of in the shadows figure. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was the
Like,
queen. She
Yeah.
ran it hard.
Yeah. And what I don't understand all that kind of stuff. Like, if she's the queen,
I
why
was
was
gonna
he not
ask
the
that.
king? I don't understand that.
I agree with you. I don't get it myself.
Yeah. So,
He was still, but that's when they first got married there.
but like if she passes, Charles will become the king.
Right.
Okay. See, I don't understand that. I don't understand why he's not the king. But,
That's him at an early age there.
See, he favors, to me, Prince Harry favors him,
It could be. And then as you go, that's when he got out of the hospital there. That's the big royal wedding there, one of them. He's checking things out there, and that's him and her together.
Yeah, Charles definitely
Looks
like him.
Oh, yeah. You can't miss old Charles. Was he ever named People's Prince Charles Sexiest Man Alive? Did he ever get that award?
Oh, Lord, I don't know.
Look, she didn't want to say it out loud. She was trying to help that man's feelings.
Look, have you ever noticed? I ain't even gonna say that because I might offend.
What, that he's
somebody.
got big ears? Yeah, I noticed it.
No.
What?
I'm not. No, nothing.
Oh,
I'm not
she's
saying it.
backing up.
I ain't saying anything.
Y'all see this?
I am not saying nothing about that. But anyway, don't you? I think it's neat they wear these hats and stuff.
But yeah, the big mystery, and if you happen to know that, why he's not a king, and again, I don't
Yeah.
understand everything they do in Britain.
Right. I don't either. But I know that's a bad. It has to be bad though that like there's turmoil going on within the family when something like this happens. With like Prince
Right.
Harry and the Meghan thing. I don't know if he's on speaking terms with the family now with all that mess going on, or
The family was not really happy with him doing this, with
Yeah.
him being sick, and they got every right to be upset over this.
that's right. So
And Pierce Morgan, I got to give him thumbs up for staying on top of them too. It was just lie after lie, things that weren't true. They stretched the truth, and so in their mind, they didn't lie. Does that make sense? And he's called them out on it over and over and over.
well, I don't know. I'm sure that's a hard position for Prince Harry to be in because, you know, he has the wife. He wants to support her, but then he has his family too. I'm sure he really didn't want to abandon his family, but he has a wife and a kid, and then they have one on the way, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, but we
So,
call that in the deep south. He's got a ring in his nose, is what he's got, and she's wearing the pants in the family, and he's not being the man of it.
right. He
They're
should
just
stand
truly-
up and like if he doesn't agree with something. I mean, don't
You know,
just go
sometimes
along
you
with
gotta
it. But
say-
it's still a hard position to be in.
It may be, but sometimes you got to say, "Hush, woman, you coming on over to the family gathering. Just sit there, and we'll talk about it when we get home." But he ain't man enough to do it.
Look, we need to send him some tips from Scotty Ray.
But he, you know, honestly, he's just he's letting her run it. And one day he will wake up and be in a mess without a family and possibly without her.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
the sad
you've seen
thing.
those happen.
Yeah, that's a sad thing.
She was
When
after
you burn
that.
those bridges, you know might not have to cross back over at some point.
But you know, y'all look at the big picture of this. This has been a super financial gain for her. You get royal in you.
Yeah.
She has 2 royal bloodline children now.
Right.
And the endless things that you can do to make money, and they're doing it. I mean, they're
But you know, you look at remember Fergie.
yeah.
I mean, she kind of married into royalty too, but she ended up with
Well, she
kind of
didn't.
nothing. I mean,
Well,
it's
she
like-
didn't do the route they're doing of the YouTube channels
Well, yeah.
and the clotheslines, clothing line, and then doing all of these podcasts. What they're turning fortunes on,
Yeah.
and hang out with Oprah. And if you go back and you look at the wedding list, all of that was set up to where they could use them later as to who was invited.
Yeah. That's
For
just
some
all
reason,
kind
they
of
didn't invite
craziness.
Donald. Did you catch on to that?
Yeah. Like I wonder why.
How big? Now we
I
found
didn't
out
get my invitation either, but you know.
I couldn't afford the plane ticket over there all day. Another news story, which is so sad from yesterday, nationwide, we saw this happen. We found out that it was a football player that killed the doctor, his wife, and his grandkids, and the guy that was there working on the air conditioning.
That is so insane. Like, and it's so sad. I mean,
It
I
is.
was looking at those 2 little kids this morning. I saw the pictures of them and the wife. And I mean, just because he couldn't get pain medicine.
Yeah, and you know, do you remember him from football? I don't. I'm not sure if he was really good or not, but he's the gunman that done this. And then there was one guy that did live that was there working with the other air conditioner guy.
Okay.
And he got wounded, but he did not die. A miracle. God's got something else planned for that old boy.
Oh, yeah. That's so sad. And I mean, I would imagine that it's kind of a wake up call to doctors, too. That not a wake up call like you should have gave them pain medicine,
Right.
but like just to be on the alert that something like this could happen, that people, and I would hope to goodness, because you know, sometimes when something like this happens, people copycat it. and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that. I just hope to goodness nothing like this happens again, because this is just crazy.
The picture there with the circle are the children that were killed in that. Isn't that just horrible?
That's awful. Awful.
And then you know that here's the gentleman that was killed there. It just goes on and on and on. We cannot. We pray that this never happens in our community.
That's right. I mean, and it's a real thing. People getting addicted to pain medicine and
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I mean, some people don't intend on that to happen. Obviously, I mean, and it's but they're very addictive. I mean,
Yeah, you
people
go in the
can-
hospital for a surgery and they put you on this pain
Uh-huh.
meds. The next thing you know, to make it through the day.
Well, I've heard of so many people going to like the pain clinic for their back and stuff like that, and then they'll start taking pain medicine to try to make it feel better, and then next thing you know,
Wasn't it
One pill's not
Oxycontin
enough, and,
that was just so addictive? Wasn't that what it
yeah,
was?
I know that was the choice of drugs for teenagers, when, like in a part of Georgia over there that I knew of. I'm not saying it's limited to Georgia,
Right.
but I just knew of in one town there were several teenagers who committed suicide while taking that. It like was such a brain altering thing that yes, it was highly addictive.
You know, and you say this about drugs. Have you ever seen this to where they talk about the rural route in West Virginia being gotten to where it's just drug infested? I did a job there about 2 to 3 years ago, and I was there, and I remember pulling up a parking lot, going inside to eat, and there were needles on the ground, and it was a nice
Yes.
neighborhood, but it's just taking a hold of those communities in West Virginia.
Well, it breaks my heart to see, because people who, best people in the world, does not intend on becoming addicted to stuff like that, but have such a high, amount of pain that they're just trying to get relief from. And the next thing you know, I mean, they're addicted to stuff like that, and it's a scary thing.
And most likely, everybody watching probably knows a family member in the extended family that may have some type of issue. It's big.
Yeah, it is.
Here's the rump row that come out yesterday, and embarrassing, and had to step down as we look at the news story of we go to Alabama. The Secretary of State John Merrill was running for a Senate seat. He maybe had a girlfriend on the side. He denied it at first.
Yeah.
Apparently, what do they call that? A woman's wrath?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she released all the audio, pictures.
Well, is it hell hath no fury like a woman scorned? Yeah. And I believe that. But anyway.
That's his wife
bad. And
here.
From what I understood that I heard, that maybe this possibly wasn't the first time that they've had some issues.
Oh.
I'm not sure, but, I'm not sure.
Girlfriend here, wife here. And then it goes on to say that he even might have brought her home and they had a romance there at the house in a place they shouldn't have.
Right.
And then she released all the text, and I won't show the text because it's kind of explicit. We won't go there, but that's her. After you see the text, it'll make you almost go, whew.
See, stuff like that just burns me up.
Yeah.
It really does.
She ruined his life. If that's what she was after.
Yeah.
Maybe they shouldn't have been doing what they done, but boy, she took him out.
I kind of don't have any kind of sympathy for people who do that kind of mess.
I knew it was coming.
Because, before people do stuff like that, you play it out in your mind what could happen and you just take the chance anyway. So you deserve whatever you get, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, people throw away their whole families for just
30 seconds.
Well, whatever, however long. I mean, some people will, just throw their whole life and, their families away, and for a woman or a man. I don't understand that. I just don't,
She speaks the truth.
Yeah.
She's all over it.
Anyway.
As we look at our next story, all of this has been denied from the White House. Oh, there is not a problem in the United States whatsoever. Nope, it's not happening. We pull this up, and this is March. This ain't even counting where we are right now. 19,000 children have been crammed into shelters at the border, and the White House says, no, we don't have a problem. We didn't start this. Oh, yes, you did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
$60 million a week is what it's costing the American taxpayer. All because he said, I'll let you in. $60 million. Y'all think about that.
And this is like what I said the other day. I'm so tired of people choosing to do stuff, go in a certain direction with something, and then it goes south, and then you're going to try to blame somebody else for it, or either just not own your issue.
Yeah.
You don't own the problem. You did it. You own it. And move on, try to make it better instead of sitting there just keeping on.
And Candace and I both have agreed on this, that we don't blame anybody for trying to get here. You can't, because this is a great place to live.
Right, but there's a way to go about it. I mean, you can't just open the floodgates and let them all in at one time. I mean, it's chaos. It's mass chaos, and then you're just opening the door for all kind of craziness to happen.
Well, you've pointed this out of, there's bad people out there that prey on children, rape, kill, kidnap, and then they get killed trying to get here. Here's a picture of them arriving in a boat here. I can't count the times I've read the stories of people drowning trying to get here in a boat, or something that they made a boat to try to get across into the United States. Horrible, horrible situation.
And I have no way to even know how bad of a situation these people are in to try to be fleeing it.
Right.
I don't know. I can only imagine, But still, there's ways to go about it. And to send, I can't even imagine to send my kids off by themselves, just walking, or trusting somebody and just writing my phone number on the kid's hand, because that's what a lot of times they're doing. They're writing her phone number on the kid's hand, so when they get to their destination, if they make it alive or without being hurt, I guess she wants to be called to let her, I don't know. It's just an awful situation, but it is Biden and that administration's fault.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put that, and they need to own it, and they need to do something about it, and they need to put the wall back up and keep building on the wall. And
that may be happening as we speak.
And they need to, go back to how it was being handled before. I don't care if you don't like Trump and you don't like how he was doing things. I mean, it was working.
It was for the good of America.
People were not dying and being raped and murdered and all this kind of stuff. I don't know, it's just a mass chaotic situation.
It is. As we look at the next story, they're starting to have a little change of attitude at the CDC, and that's the Center of Disease Control. As we look at the headline there, where they say that classrooms by September will be back to normal, will be fully opened up by fall. Let's hope that is true.
I hope so.
Kids
yes.
need that.
I don't understand why some schools are not back in. I just don't understand it. Back in session.
It's those that don't want that as we move with this, but fall may be it.
Yeah.
Let's keep hoping there
so.
that happens. Let's see what else is going on. Every now and then somebody does a real good deed across America, and this happened. It was a murder suspect being chased, running people off the road, and it's a wonder nobody got killed. It was up to 90 miles an hour, and a truck driver sees it happening. And he's been on Hannity since this happened and hailed as a hero. He blocked the highway with his rig, and the cops were able to catch this guy. He blocked it, and he run into the side of it. This was in California. So
I'm glad.
CBS LA was all over that. And see, that's where he made it to Hannity. That's a pretty big deal to make that.
It is. Good for him.
So and that's by somebody not just standing by like those two security guards in New York.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. I just...
So
yeah, if you stand by and you watch somebody get beat down in the street, you're part of the problem.
Yes, you are.
Okay. You are part of the problem in this world.
I remember, and I don't remember this was in the last year, if it was in the last 2 years. Do you remember the little girl that was beat and killed for her tennis shoes in a large city? It was a gang initiation, and they beat that little girl and killed her for her tennis. She was 15 years old. Over a pair of tennis shoes.
People will kill you over a dollar bill.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even matter nowadays. I mean, people just kill you over nothing. Just walk in a store, shoot you. And, and this breaks my heart and it makes me want to tear up. I'm going to try not to. But last night when my son was saying his prayers, he just got he teared up and started crying. And I said, "What is wrong, son?" And he said, I just am going to miss you when you pass away.
Oh,
and
Lord.
I said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Well, I mean, don't even think about that right now. I hope that's not anytime soon." And he said, "Well, I'm just scared." And I said, "What are you scared of?" He said, "I'm scared of the world, Mama."
Strong
what he
words.
said. He said, "I'm scared of the world." And I said, "Well, what do you mean you're scared of the world?" And he said, "Well, what if you're at work and somebody just comes in there with a gun and shoots you? Or what if you're just walking down the street and somebody shoots you?" This is the world that these kids are growing up in. This is their reality. And it just breaks my heart.
Yeah, I
that
agree
my
with you.
6-year-old is scared of the world, and it's not because we allow him to watch stuff all the time. I mean, of course, people are going to have the news on. You got the radio on in the car. They just see it. They hear it. I mean, it's stuff every day.
I see. At first, I thought you were going to say Kurt said he's going to take a pill and smother you.
No, but I
Yeah.
mean, just we were in the car yesterday, and the news thing that we reported the other day about the man who killed his wife and sat her on the couch while the kid and let her sit there dead, and the kids thought she was asleep.
Right.
While they opened their Christmas presents.
That's the world
Is that
that is
not
out
a freak?
there.
I mean,
It is.
yeah. But yeah, that's the world that we're living in. It is. But anyway, that come on the news. We had talk radio, I had it on already. And so when we got in the car yesterday and cranked the car, that was the first news story thing that come on the radio. And so he heard it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Mama, what are they talking about?" The woman. So I had to explain it, which,
Right.
I mean, I hated to do that. But then he was like, that's what he was saying. He said, "What did those kids do, Mama?" And I said, "What do you mean, what'd they do?" He said, "Well, if their mama was gone and their daddy was in jail, I mean, I'm sure they can't use the microwave to cook for themselves." And I was like, "Son, somebody's taking care of them." He said, "Who, 911?" I mean, just kids are just
Of what goes through their
so
mind.
innocent. And, yeah, it's just whatever pops in their head. But they understand what's going on in this world, and it does make them scared, and it's up to us to try to,
So at
give
the
them
end of the
that
day,
peace
we
of
need prayer
mind.
for our countries. I think
We
one
do.
of the big
We do
things.
need prayer. and a whole lot of it.
Ooh, tons of it. As we turn to talk about our friends at Snowden and Company Real Estate, if you're looking for a home, or maybe you've got your home that you're wanting, well, to move up to a different home. They're looking for homes right now. Call Amanda at 601-453-3937, and she's going to help you. There's so much that they can do for you. Either, as I said, you're looking for a home, or you're trying to sell yours.
That's right.
The dream home is awaiting you, whether that means a smaller home. In a lot of cases, that is it, that you had a big home with your kids, and now, well, they've gone off to college, and you need something a little smaller.
Or you're just starting out. You just got married. You don't have kids yet. And you just need a starter home. I'm sure she's got one that will suit you.
And demand is high right now in our area for homes. So if you were thinking about it, invite Amanda out. Let her take a look. Get some comps for your home.
Right.
And what we mean by that is comparable market of what the home down the street sold. And that plays into what you'll get for yours. She's great at this, hands-on. If you want somebody that's going to work with you to the bitter end until that dotted line is sold and they hand you a check, she's the lady for that. Very, very smart. She takes care of Lauderdale, Kemper, Newton, Neshoba, and Clark counties. I've known her since she was a wee bitty little girl there, actually before she was born.
And
Great person.
And you know, a lot of times if you need to sell your home, a lot of people have to move away for a job.
Yes.
And you haven't sold your home yet. I mean, I would think that she would be the best to put your home in her hands, even if you're not around here, you know, and you just need, you know, to leave it in her hands to take care of while you're gone.
Now, they're open Monday through Friday from 9 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. On Saturdays by appointment only, and they're closed on Sunday so they can go to church like you. If you want to have keys or sell your keys, she's the lady for it. And again, this is Amanda. She's a designated seller representative, certified real estate negotiating expert, one of the best there is. Their office is located on Poplar Springs Drive. Drop in today. Give them a call, whichever way it is. If you're selling or looking for a home, talk to Amanda. She'll certainly help you there. Let's see, as we move across this morning, again, don't forget about the weather as we head for high in the 80s today. That's what we're going to be doing. This next story that we go to, maybe 10 years ago, I would have said, you're absolutely nuts. That would never happen. I can't say that today. As we look at this headline, could Caitlin, what do you call her?
Caitlin.
Could
Bruce.
she become the next,
Bruce, I'm sorry.
could he be the next governor of
I don't know.
California?
You know, anything's possible out there, I guess, in California. So, I mean,
She's exploring. She's already got some analysts there. Fame, wanting a little power there. Yeah, anything could happen in this world.
Look how big the hands.
Yeah. Oh, and let's go back and take a look at that, of what you're talking about here. Yep, that's big old hands.
I'd have to get me some sleeves that like come down to here. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just think it's just a crazy world we're living in. Everybody's living in a fantasy world, don't you think?
Was it Life cereal as a kid that he was on the box there with the gold from the Olympics? Is that what it was?
I think so.
It was one of those cereals that he was on the box. And that's really how I remember him until now. Now I got the big hand syndrome there. I'm just watching that.
Gives a whole new meaning to when you grow up, you can be whatever you want to be.
Yes, it does. Tell him, girl.
I mean, you know.
Giuliani is busy this week trying to get a judge to throw out the lawsuit that is against him from the Dominion people over the election claims. Maybe Giuliani will get that passed. We don't know, but that's what he's up to in the news of the world today.
I wish something would, come of
that.
Mess. Yes, because
Wheaties. That's what he was on.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was Wheaties.
I just couldn't remember. I remember seeing the box just over and over. And that little cat that would eat anything. What was his name? Mikey? Give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything. The bologna.
Oh, the kid.
Wasn't that it? My bologna has a name. Oh, no, it was Life cereal.
Yeah, Life cereal. Give it to Mikey. He likes it.
He'll eat anything.
Yeah.
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 And then
Mikey. And then they go, he likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was.
I don't think commercials are that good anymore.
No.
Well, maybe Flow sticks in your mind because they play it over 20,000 times a day. More comes out about the George Floyd trial as it goes on. More testimony as it keeps coming up. They described yesterday how he used his knuckles and fingers to raise himself up off the ground to get air as he begged to get the knee off of him. His pleas were unheard.
I'll be glad when this mess is over with, though. I'll be glad when that trial is over.
Each day, it's graphic to watch each day.
Yeah.
and I was looking down through the pictures, and here's an example of what they're showing of what he went through there. And I've only seen, and I guess it's because I just wasn't paying attention. You only normally see the picture of him on the outside of the car, but there were two other cops that were helping hold him down as well.
Yeah.
And you didn't see that in that picture that is famous now. So the trial goes on, and here's the picture that I think most people saw here that I did. I was referring to right there. You saw this angle, and you didn't see the rest of them on top of him.
What's the foot though? So off the ground, like he's.
It means he's
on him,
got all of his weight on his neck. Yeah. And then, of course, the police department, as we found out this week, said that was against police policy. That was his hope, the cop, of getting out of this, that it was policy that they could do that. But it was not policy.
I don't understand if he was handcuffed, what the whole idea of having to put his knee on his neck was in the first place.
He wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
Not at that point. So. It got way out of hand.
Mm-hmm, it did.
And this cop, in the end, I think we all know, will pay for what he done.
Yeah.
Don't see any way around this. This is, as we each day bring up a story of, hey, watch your children, make sure you know what's going on. If you go to sell something, make sure somebody's there. Right. This is happening to kids. This was a 15-year-old that committed suicide on Facebook. Another teenager or supposed teenager starts telling him how cute he is. Next thing you know, they're wanting pictures of him. And, he may have sent some inappropriate pictures in return back. And then that person turns around and goes, look, within 2 hours, if you don't pay $3,500 to us, we're going to release these pictures to all of your friends.
Yeah.
And it's blackmail. It's horrible. It's going on. This isn't the first case of this. And this kid killed himself over it, over the fear that his friends and family would see those pictures that he sent to this person.
That's just horrible.
Be involved in your kids' lives, grandkids, whatever the case is. I mean, who sits around and thinks of things to do like this?
I know. I mean, I know that our phones and stuff like that are good things, like to watch the weather. Yeah. I mean, I know that's a great thing, and when we got them for stuff like that, but they have been the downfall of a lot.
Yeah.
Of things. I mean, I don't know how many times I've said, gosh, I wish we could just go back to the times to where you had to stop and use a payphone if you had to use the phone. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but, I don't know. I mean, it's just.
I ain't leaving my air conditioning behind. If you're going back in time.
No, I don't mean that. I'm just talking about, it's just.
It's responsibility with everything.
Computers and all that kind of. Technology has been.
And everything was invented for the greater of mankind. It's just there's a certain type person that prays and tries to do evil with good.
Well, that, and I mean, there's a lot of marriages that's probably ended when people have done,
Right.
I don't know.
So watch out, be careful of that.
That's right.
Kids especially.
Kids, they have access to way too much, I think.
So no one's been arrested in that yet. That's an ongoing thing.
That's awful, though.
It is.
That is a horrible
We go to Virginia for our next story here. They become the 16th state in the South to legalize recreational marijuana. Now, Mississippi did not do that. We just have the medical marijuana. Your thoughts on recreational?
I mean, I don't agree with it.
I don't either. I'm against that.
Yeah.
I understand somebody needing it for medical help where it could help. I'm okay.
Well, I mean, I just think, a lot of people, like that. I just think it's a gateway drug to, when that doesn't suit you, you're going to move to something else. I just think that just entices you to want other things, other drugs, it's just like pain medicine. I mean, you take so much of it, I'm sure you're going to need more of it to make you feel better later on. And like when marijuana doesn't do it, you might
need something
opt
stronger.
To something else. I don't agree with it though.
But that's what's going on there.
Plus, people are going to get behind the wheel of a car and drive. I mean, they're going to do it.
Yeah, they drive slow.
Yeah. I mean, they might think they're going 90 and going about 10, I keep bumping this microphone. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just like.
Bless your heart.
But I have to put it right here or you can't hear me.
And I don't know what babysitters make now to keep a kid. What is it, maybe $20 for a Friday night to come over? But here's the job if you're looking to be a nanny that you might want to go apply for. They say they're seeking the ultimate Mary Poppins in San Francisco, $100,000 a year to take care of 2 children.
Today will be my last day. I'm moving to.
So
I'm going to be a nanny.
a butler,
Yeah.
basically, what $100,000 a year.
Good Lord.
What was her name? Fran, the nanny.
Yeah, Fran Drescher.
They never did. Yeah, they never did say what she made.
You think I could show up with that accent? And
I think
knock
you
on
could
their
pull it
door?
off. You probably would sound that way in San Francisco.
Yeah, I probably
To
would.
them, you would.
They'd probably think, "Oh Lord."
But that'd be like hitting the gold mine, would it not?
Yeah, it would.
Now, what's scary about this is we don't know how bad those children really are.
Or
if they're willing to
yeah.
pay that, just how bad are they?
Yeah, or it could be some weird family. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
There's some strange ones out there.
Yeah.
You brought this up yesterday about someone that's going to oppose Como for election coming up in New York.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin is going to be doing it. And I didn't know that Rudy Giuliani's son is going to be running also.
Oh, is he? I didn't
Yeah.
know that either. Andrew. Led Zeppelin. You think about Led Zeppelin?
Yeah, that's exactly what went through my head. I can't
It's
picture
Lee
that.
Zeldin.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Let me see if it's,
Lee Zeldin.
is that him right there? Yeah.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin will not be running.
That's what I thought.
I'm picking with Scotty
So he's
Ray.
going to be
He knows
running.
that.
He may win
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I don't know. Led Zeppelin might could run, and that great could.
Yeah. As you look at the pictures, he was a supporter of Trump. So there's a chance there. We'll see how if New York is tired of the way it's
Right.
been run for the last
I
year.
think anybody could be a politician nowadays.
Oh yeah, things
We
have
got
changed.
AOC. She was a bartender.
And it showed. Did you
Yeah.
see the
She needs
article
to go back
where
to bartending.
she is the least effective congressperson in the United States? Have you seen that? Although she gets most of the publicity, she is the least effective that there is in the nation.
I think she just likes running her mouth. I mean, I've never seen somebody. Well, I mean, she acts like she knows what she wants to act like she knows, like what she's talking about.
Right.
But really,
She
she
does.
has no clue, as to what she's saying. But
Governor Led Zeppelin, Janice Overby said. That'd be different.
It
Look, we had,
would.
what was his name? The wrestler, the Ventura guy? He
well,
was
we had Arnold Schwarzenegger too, and
California.
yeah, the Terminator.
Ventura. Where was Jesse Ventura? What state was he governor of? It was one of
don't
them,
know.
Midwest maybe?
Yeah,
But anything can happen these days.
that's right.
And then he went on to, and I have to say I was hooked. He done a show on the Discovery Channel to where they go behind the scenes of the conspiracy theories. I was hooked. I watched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he done a lot of those camps and things. What are they doing with these buildings?
Oh,
And I
yeah.
was like, oh yeah, tell me
I
more.
like watching stuff like that, though.
Minnesota, Alan
Okay.
Nicholson said.
I like watching those conspiracy type things, and some of that stuff could happen, or
Yeah.
some of it might be happening. We don't even know.
I guess the only one that I can't watch, what's his name? That radio host that's so wild and rips his shirt off and beats on it with the hairy chest, and he got a divorce. Do you know that the strange guy?
The radio.
Yeah, he's a radio guy. That's
Oh Lord, I don't know.
it'll come to me in a minute, but he's very conspiracy theory and
Are you talking about the
that guy.
something wars?
Yeah,
guy?
Infowars.
Infowars guy.
What's his name?
Yeah, he's real loud and gruff. I don't know. I don't remember his name, but yeah,
Yeah, Infowars is
he
what
seems like he's hyped up on something.
Let me Google this since let's see here. Infowars. Alex Jones, that's who it is. Alex Jones. Now he's a little far fetched for me.
Yeah.
I can't follow everything that he says.
Yeah, he's a little too over the top.
He's too loud.
Yeah, too loud. I mean, why you got to yell everything?
Mm-hmm.
We right here.
Iris Downey said Howard Stern. You were close. Howard's real loud too. He's on the liberal side of things.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This is somebody that ain't giving up as we go to this next story. If you've got your own business, I think you ought to be able to fly what you want to on your own flagpole.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're trying to sue him. He's a Trump supporter, and he says he's going to jail in Buffalo before he takes down his flag. And as we scroll down and look at this is his flag that he's flying there above his business.
Yeah.
And he says he'll just put a bigger one if they put him in jail.
Why would you put somebody in jail for flying a flag? And if it's at his business, his place of business, not your business, his business.
Now, and he didn't get into any trouble until after the election is when
Yeah.
they started complaining. But I think he's a pretty good guy. Just wants to
goodness.
fly his flag.
Right.
Boy, oh boy. That's another one of those stories from across America.
Another one of those control stories.
It is.
Trying to control what you do and what you say and silence you if they don't like it.
This is just one of those things, just so you'll know that it was out there. A news story broke that in Michigan, let me re-say that. Michigan, they found a 4-month-old baby abandoned in the bushes. Neighbors called. A woman was stirring around the street, ranting and raving, and she had the child, and this is the baby that they found there. The child is safety. I think she is safe now. She's been arrested, most likely on something.
Mental, like had a mental issue or on drugs or something.
It was a little bit of both, probably.
Yeah. Thank goodness somebody found the
Yeah,
baby.
I know. And too many times people, and this is the good things about that, you see something weird going on, they just turn, walk inside and close the door, don't pay any attention. Neighbors did pay attention and save that baby's life. So, good.
People just, stuff like this happens all the time, though. People, like, take a baby and just abandon it somewhere. And just, I mean, what do you do? I mean, how can somebody do that? I won't leave my child here. I'm just going to go on about my business. I'm just going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to go live my life. And I've left my child helpless. I don't understand. There's people in this world that would love to have a child that can't.
Sure would. I've got a metal detector, and I really enjoy going out and digging up stuff. It's fun.
See, Alden likes to do stuff like
that.
that.
You don't always find anything. You'll run up on pop tops and a bunch of nails, but every now and then you'll find a dime or a quarter that's, a silver one, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, this guy broke this thing on TikTok that he had found a hidden treasure in his backyard, and millions of people started following him. Well, he ain't so smart. As we pull up the story, in the end, all he found was his septic tank.
I wonder if he took the lid off and really...
He did.
I bet he found some treasures.
If you'll see right there, that's him trying to cover his nose because it smells so bad.
Oh, yeah.
But this is what he found. He dug it up, and you see the handles there where you lift the lid off of it to suck the stuff out when it needs work done.
Right.
And he didn't find any treasure. So what do you say about a story like that?
My gosh.
Yeah. This chick who is from Georgia, who has been run down by every Democrat out there, she is raising more money than AOC ever thought about. Here's the numbers that they've got. She's taken in $3.2 million in the first quarter compared to $728,000 from AOC. So whatever you want to call her, she's doing what the people of her state want.
That's
the people
good.
that put her in there. Thought I'd share that with you.
I commend people like her because she don't care if they like it or not. She just keeps on. And I think that's great. It's called having a backbone. More people might need to try that,
Another news story is we all know the pandemic was tough on a lot of people, and people got through it, but who did it hurt? And it's obvious as the news story breaks out, and it's people that have to make it from check to check, that don't make a whole lot of money, that if they don't get their check on Friday, then they're not going to have anything to eat that next week, and that's what the news story is. It was really rough on poor Americans, no matter what your race was. Just trying to survive and get through this. If you don't work, you don't eat. And that's one of the headlines. We do know that. Mississippi being one of those states that it's heavy in.
I think it affected everybody. And I just think everybody needs to have some compassion for everybody and not just select people or anything like that. But I think that everybody just needs to pray for everybody when it comes to stuff like this, because it could happen again tomorrow. We don't know. And we were not prepared for it, to happen this time. Hopefully if there is a next time, which I hope it's not. But I think maybe people will be a little more prepared as far as what the protocol of everything is. But no, you're never prepared financially for stuff like that. And I do feel for people because, I didn't work for 2 months. I didn't have any income. Thank goodness my husband did, but there's a lot of people who they're the only breadwinner in their family.
Well, you
and they didn't have a job.
People that owned a hair salon and that's all they done.
Right.
They had nothing.
There's businesses.
Restaurants.
Businesses that people were doing great at, and then all of a sudden they're shut down and there's no income, but your bills still keep on coming and your kids still need to be fed. And I have the utmost compassion for stuff like that and for people like that because,
a lot of people lost some things.
It is. It's a big thing, and they did lose a lot. So.
Let's ask Candace's opinion on this next headline because I'm going to say no for you before I read it out loud. Starbucks is going to start this new program to where, your cup when you go in and buy is a lot of the cost of your coffee.
Right.
They're going to do a program that you can buy a cup for $1 and return it, and it's a reused cup. Would you want to use the reused cup? They say they'll wash it. That's the headline here. It's like borrowing a cup.
No.
Then you get your $1
That'd
back.
be a big old negative for me.
So you'd rather pay the money and get your own cup?
I mean, if I was bringing my own cup every time and just saying, hey, pour me some coffee in my cup that I washed and I brought. But no, I don't want somebody else's used cup. But I mean, what's the difference though, really, when you go in a restaurant and you have a real glass, you have a real silverware. I have sent my silverware back.
Because it wasn't washed.
It was not clean.
Yeah.
I'm like, could you please? I mean, I'm nice about it.
Elvis Presley's mama, y'all.
I'm super nice about it, but I mean, I'm not going to sit there and eat off of something that's got leftover food that's dried on it that didn't get washed.
And
good.
what they say is the reason they're doing this is to cut back on pollution, to cut back on all of the waste that's put out there in landfills is what they're trying to do, is cut back on that.
There must be. I mean, I guess everybody's having hard times with stuff like that because, like, I went in a store not too long ago. Actually, I've gone in 2 different ones, and I've had to pay extra for the bag that they put my stuff in. Really? I had to pay 15 cents for a bag the other day.
You're kidding?
No.
I hadn't heard of that.
They were like, would you like a bag? And I'm like, yeah, please. Oh, well, it's 15 cents. Huh. Well, I'm like, well, I guess I do want a bag because what am I going to do? Put it in my shirt right here and, like, walk out with it?
Wouldn't you just figure that in the cost of your operating expenses?
I've never had to pay for separate for a bag or extra for a bag. That's
interesting.
So I don't know if it's
the latest
stuff
craze.
Has really gone up on bags and stuff, cups. I don't know.
The new Johnson & Johnson vaccine was shut down in North Carolina after 18 folks got sick. They had reactions to it, and they shut down that site. A similar thing happened in Colorado also. Also,
that AstraZeneca vaccine, I think, in other countries has made people really sick. We reported on that.
Sure
Remember
did.
that? It's like 8 different symptoms that,
And that was one of the areas there. I didn't have any trouble to the 2-step program thing. I've gotten both of mine, and I made it through just a little ill that next day.
Did you feel bad kind of a little bit?
Just dragging.
Yeah.
I didn't have fever, but I didn't want to go take anything to the mailbox either.
I don't know what the difference is that people have different adverse reactions or whatever. But I mean, some people, it doesn't faze them at all. Some people have like major, side effects from it. I don't know. I heard yesterday where somebody ended up in the hospital after taking the vaccine. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on your physical, makeup of your body. Maybe if you got a lower immune system, maybe. I don't know.
Janice Overby put a place that she gets beauty supplies charges now.
That's
for.
the place. That's where I had to pay 15 cents for a bag.
Wow.
I think it was. Yeah. Yep.
And Linda Culper said somebody else sells checkouts. I'm not familiar with that business.
I just always thought that was a given, that'd be kind of like going to McDonald's and you got to pay extra for the straw for your drink.
Right. Just figure it into your operating cost.
But you do, a lot of places, you do have to ask for napkins or ask for,
ketchup.
Extra. Yeah, ketchup. Don't assume they're going to give you.
The sad part about all this is y'all remember the days when you could sit down in a restaurant and a bottle of ketchup was there and you could squirt it? Mm-hmm. It was all because some idiot done something to the ketchup that had to start getting these packages.
Yeah.
People were putting things in it to hurt people.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, I know when the pandemic stuff happened, we went to, I guess when we could go back to eat and stuff, like Cracker Barrel had all the salt shakers and everything was removed from the table. Like, because I guess people just handling stuff over and over. And I'm sure they couldn't keep them wiped down enough. So they would ask you, would you like salt? And ask you, would you like this and that? Right. I don't know if it's changed, since then. But
okay. Janice Overby getting comical as she says, bring your Dollar General bag in wherever you go. Just bring your own bag. Thumbs up on that.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing I'm going to show you here is something that you should pay really close attention to this headline, because if they're mumbling this, they mean it in Washington. And this is the headline here that we're looking at. Biden says no amendment, listen to this, no amendment in the Constitution is absolute, which means he's willing to try to change anything that he can for their cause.
Mm-hmm. I started watching a thing last night where he was speaking yesterday about gun
Now,
some executive order.
Now, if you
I
dig
didn't
into
finish.
the thing that he's doing right now, it's for the ghost guns that
Yeah.
are made at home, and then sales. It doesn't sound all that bad, but this is the first step. There will be more steps to follow. They're not going to stop at that. It is the first step in taking them away from you. And again, ammo will be the way in the end that they shut down guns in America. If you can't get ammunition, what good is your gun?
Yeah.
We all know that's coming, so be prepared. But when they say no amendment is in the Constitution is absolute,
Yeah.
they're going after something else too. It's just a hint of what's coming. As Tennessee hears this, well, they throw this out there. Have you seen this? The governor signed a bill yesterday allowing anyone over the age of 21 to buy a handgun without a background check. That's different.
That is different.
I did not expect to see that.
And I have mixed issues about that because, I mean, like if somebody's got something going on, or they've had like a felony or, some kind of something for, say they robbed somebody 20 years ago, I mean, at gunpoint or something. You know what I'm saying?
could
Like,
have
if you don't
happened.
do a background check, how you going to know that?
But as we've also learned, it's certain newspapers in these larger cities that say, hey, if there's something bad about you in our newspaper that you done years ago, send us an email. We'll be glad to take that off the internet to where no one can look that up on you. That's bad when society starts erasing what someone done.
Right.
That's a bad thing. Y'all keep that in mind.
Yeah.
As we turn to talk about our friends at Master Flow Plumbing, now they're going to take care of you. Galen and the gang there, they specialize in plumbing and sewer and drain specialists from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, all the way to the Gulf Coast. If you've got something going on, and I've showed these pictures a couple times, and I learned this about this. When they have to go in under a slab, you see how that's dug out?
Yeah.
They go in with 5-gallon buckets and dig this out with a shovel, take it out, refix it, and then go back in and put the dirt back in under your home so nothing will collapse and change. A lot of work goes into that.
Oh, yeah.
But when you have no
Imagine.
choice and your home has a problem, that's how it's fixed. They're not afraid to get dirty, to handle a tunnel job
Thank
for
goodness
you.
for people like this,
Yeah.
too. We didn't have people doing these things.
That's
I
right.
mean, what would you do? So
If you need your line replaced to your home, whether it be a sewer line or a water line, they do that. They can fix you up no time flat with that. And again, if it's got a curve or something through the years that's broken, come apart, they can dig down, find it, fix that in no time. This is water line replacements there. As you go through here, this is the bad thing that can happen to a home that was built anywhere from the 60s to the 90s that had the plumbing built into the concrete. It'll bust and leak in your slab. What do? They specialize in all of that. They'll help you there. Again, from the Gulf Coast all the way up to Hattiesburg, all of this area, they do that. Simply getting a water faucet. How many homes have you gone in and seen that?
Oh, I know, yeah.
It just sits there after 10, 15 years or maybe longer.
Right, or it starts leaking around the handle.
Yeah.
You turn it on, it just runs. Ours have done that, yeah.
Doesn't take them any time. They do this every day, all day long. And, of course, when it comes to drain cleaning, $125 to get it out. Now, there is no extra charge to come to your home. Most plumbing places will tack on another $100 fee for just coming, plus the clean-out fee. Theirs is simply $125, guaranteed for 60 days.
Ladies, how many of y'all have stopped the shower up with your hair?
It does happen.
Lord, I'm telling you, I would be scared to know what was in my shower drain. Seriously, because
Lot of
my
blonde hair.
when I shampoo my hair, I mean, sometimes it's like a wad of hair, and I try to
Yeah,
do
get
that.
up.
But yeah, thank goodness these people can do something about that. I might need to go.
Water heaters, there you go. If you
Yeah.
need one that's leaking, and that is, if you don't know what you're doing with a water heater, let the professionals handle that.
That one's rusted out. hasn't
Yeah.
it?
And it starts to leak it in the house also.
Yeah.
Toilets, if you need a new one of those, they'll replace it and get you going. Again, this is Master Flow Plumbing. They're licensed and insured. Been doing it for 36 years. They'll fix anything plumbing. Call Galen today, 601-620-8627, or the other number. And if you need that number again, we'll be glad to pass that along to you so you can give them a call there. Now, what's on tap for you today?
I've got to go to work a little bit later. I had some cancellations this morning, so I don't really have to go in until around 12.
Oh, you're doing good then.
Yeah.
We want to remind you of this. Do not forget about this. This is what we'll be doing here all day, is tracking this weather. Severe weather is expected all the way to Hattiesburg, the Meridian area, also now Livingston, Alabama, Butler, Alabama. Y'all are in this Category 4 of severe weather expected.
Yeah.
Let me pull back radar up and show you the other version of this so you'll know exactly what we've got here. Let me go over here and back this out. Turn these off so everybody can see as a big picture of what we're expecting. Here's the overall view. This is from Oklahoma all the way to Georgia. The red area is Mississippi for the most part. We've got a little bit here in Arkansas, a little bit in Louisiana, starting at Ruston, Louisiana. A vast majority of this is Mississippi from Hattiesburg, Meridian, to a line to Macon, Mississippi, to where the Kentucky Fried Chicken is, due west through the Mississippi Delta, back over to Arkansas, to Texarkana. This is coming tonight after midnight. Very, very rough weather. We remind you of the strong winds and hail that's going to be involved in this.
Yeah. My mother will be watching. I saw when you scroll back up, she said, I'll be spending the evening with you, Scotty Ray. And she will. Let me tell you, we were down in the storm shelter, and she was like, call Scotty Ray. I said, Mom, I got Scotty Ray. I've got him on the phone watching him. She said, well, call him. Just see what's going on, because we couldn't see.
Right.
You know, all we could hear was like wind, and that's just an eerie feeling.
Have y'all got your light bulbs replaced down in the storm shelter?
Yes. Thanks to me, I ran in and got one. Look, we were in the middle of the storm, like trying to get down in the storm shelter, and we get down there, it's pitch black, and I'm like, flip the light on, Mama. She's like, oh, I forgot to put a bulb in there. And I'm like, well, I ain't staying down in here with it pitch dark. So I run back in the house just searching for light bulbs, and finally got one.
Yeah, when you close that door, it gets big time dark.
Yeah. I mean, I had the light on my cell phone, but no. I wasn't getting in there.
That'll go dark pretty quick there.
Right. And that time we had lizards in there. Salamanders. They look like snakes with legs.
Yeah, they ain't nothing like being in the dark and you feel something crawling on you and don't know what it is.
Gosh. And, I mean, it's super clean in my mother's storm shelter. I mean, she has the indoor-outdoor carpet down there.
Yeah, don't mean something can't get in there, though.
A mini fridge, a lamp, a radio. We got all that, you know. And then we go in there that time, and like 3 salamanders. And I don't mean little bitty salamanders. I mean like long, big old, look like a snake squirming around the edge of the thing. I told her, I said, if I'd have got in here and that thing had crawled across my leg, I'd have had a heart attack down in here.
It will make you hurt somebody or yourself, one of the two.
Oof, goodness.
Elmer Talbert watching from Columbus, Mississippi. We do appreciate that. As we look at storms tonight, stay with us. And again, if you don't mind, share this. Invite others to be a part of it. And you have to click and follow at the very top of this thing where it says follow. Click that to where you'll get the updates through this. We'll be doing this from now on. This is what we do 24/7. I crawl out of bed whenever it happens and I come a-running.
Yeah.
That's the best way. You don't have do the hair curler thing at night, do you?
No, I don't. I have to do it curling iron in the morning.
Okay.
So,
I'm just curious.
I do. No, I wake up looking like Medusa in the morning. My hair is everywhere.
At least you got hair to do that. For the rest of the world like me that don't have it like you used to, whoo boy. I have some cowlicks left of what I got.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought I'd share that with you. Again, I thank you for watching us and making this so successful.
Yes.
It has worked great. We've got a lot of sponsors that are with us that support us, and we thank them as well.
Mm-hmm. We do. We thank all of you, and we appreciate you every day. Prayers go out to everybody for tonight, for bad weather. We pray that it's not going to get as bad. But y'all are just a blessing to us. I mean, every day. So
if you've got a suggestion of something you want us to add to do as a feature every day, send us a note on that so we can do that.
An upcoming event.
Yeah.
Send us a note if you want us to put it out there for you. We sure will.
I was trying to think of a weekend. I'm sure there's something happening this weekend that I hadn't thought about.
Well,
I know Loose Caboose is coming up in Newton.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check here, just to be on the safe side.
Is that where they have like a talent contest and all that kind of stuff?
They do a little bit of everything at Loose Caboose. It's a fun. The Chamber of Newton. That's what I'm trying to find here. Newton Chamber of Commerce.
Y'all remember I don't know the streets. Scotty Ray probably does. The streets that are affected by that building falling. If you got to go downtown Meridian.
I'll pull that back up.
Yeah.
April 10th is this, the Arts and Crafts Festival, as we look at this from Newton. Mm-hmm. There it is, what they're offering there. That's going to be, today is the night, that is tomorrow. Now, how the rain affects that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
let's hope it clears up, or maybe it's not as bad as what they think it might be.
Right. Let me go back down to the streets from the letter from the city limits of Meridian. I've got that right here to where we can pull this up and show this. Again, let me go to there where it shows it better. It's going to be 23rd Avenue to 5th Street to 4th Street and portions of 5th and 4th Streets west of 23rd that are officially closed due to the building that fell down. And be careful in those areas. And don't forget the Roadside Rescue Network had a whatchamacallit, a rummage sale, is that the word for it, or yard sale scheduled for today to help the needy pets in our area. That has been canceled due to the weather. And they'll do that again, I think in May is when they're going to do that. You can still contribute there on their page there if you'd like to help out some puppy dogs in the neighborhood.
Right.
I didn't leave anything else off to
No, we're supposed to have a ball game tonight, though, a baseball game.
hang in there.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. All I do know is that if you go to the Sickalina ball field, do not park in that field. People were getting stuck left and right the other night. So if y'all have baseball plans tonight, you might want to steer clear of the little field where they park.
And also, Jimmy Rogers Festival continues over the weekend as well. Some more events are planned with that at the Temple Theater as well. Maybe you can make some of those. And good morning to Jeremiah Johnson for joining us there. We appreciate that. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us this morning. We appreciate you being here. I'll be back later on this afternoon as weather develops to keep you posted throughout the nighttime hours.
Yes.
And you're always welcome. We'll see
Y'all
you.
have a wonderful day.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by